did this to you? Was it Windows? Oh, Mac OS? Oh, don't worry. I can save you. Install Linux.
True and real. This is not a dream. This is not AI. This is a Linux video made by PewDiePie, coming after things like this, where in a recent video, just randomly shows he had a Linux Mint desktop, and then posts later where he was using Arch and Hyprland. Like, this is not, you know, just, oh, I tried out Linux for a little bit, I have no idea what I'm doing. And then the mad lad went and did it. He made a Linux video, and I'm so happy this thing exists. Anyway, let's get right into it.
What if I told you can look like this?
I would recommend not installing Linux if that is your plan.
Anyway, let me start this off by saying I am not a tech guy. You saw.
The funny thing about that is I've already gone through the video. I've got notes on everything he said, but this is better than the Linux videos made by the tech creators. I have nothing negative to say here. So you might not be a tech guy, but that doesn't matter if you have the enthusiasm.
On my PC building video.
Yeah, I did see that. Yeah. I've seen worse, to be honest. The Verge PC building guide comes to mind.
I'm surprised the whole thing hasn't exploded. It's like sitting next to a bomb every day. But what you did see was 0.5 seconds of the video where I installed Linux on the thing, and a lot of people just went, what?
Look, if people are gonna spot Linux in random pieces of media like this, where someone noticed it was using Ubuntu in this anime, they're for sure gonna notice a channel that has 110 million subs doing so.
People seem surprised and confused.
Something possessed
Myself
him to
as
put
well.
Linux on it.
Some people were excited. At the time, I didn't know the power that I had. I was like a baby with a rocket launcher. For years!
It is very important that people who are not in the tech space can show that Linux is useful. It's one thing if, like, you know, LTT or, you know, some other big tech-related channel does so, but, you know, it's a tech audience. They kind of have an understanding of Linux already, even if they don't use it, even if they don't like it. But for someone who is completely unaffiliated with that space, like, this shows that you can go and do so if you want to go and spend the time to learn it.
I have been tortured by Windows. But now, alas, I am finally free! I escaped the Windows cave. I saw the sun. The shadows are gone. It blinded me for a moment. And now I'm speaking to you in the cave. Enough ref-
I don't know how anything could blind you when this is your recording setup. Actually, I don't even know how you get this much light into a building. Are these windows or are these lights? Because this room is ridiculously bright.
Okay, so I'm gonna yap about Linux for as long as this video is, and you're gonna listen. I want to start off.
And I'm here to yap about his yapping. So, welcome to the ride. You can't get off.
By going through the reasons why I switched to Linux. It's different for everybody. Number one is how backlit this shot is. Number one, Windows talks to me like I'm a baby. Now, mentally, I might be, but that does not warrant. You want Candy Crush? You want Candy Crush on your computer?
Candy Crush?
You want to use Bing?
No.
Yes.
No.
Are you sure you want to delete that file? Are you super duper sure you want to delete that file? That's how it talks to me, and I don't like it.
Translating that into sensible speech, what he's saying is Windows has like these constant admin pop-ups confirming if you want to do non-destructive things like, oh, are you sure you want to change your search engine? Are you sure you want to change your browser? Yes, I can just change it back. If anything's wrong, I can just change it back. It's okay. Oh, and we can't forget constantly reminding you to update, which you probably should do, but I know I need to update my system. Let me just go about my day.
Linux, on the other hand, literally puts a gun in your hand and says, do it. You're God now. My first sort of aha moment when I installed Linux or started using it was, Wait a minute, it does exactly what I want it to do.
Imagine that your computer isn't trying to work against you.
There's a really powerful feeling about that. I do want to show you guys my setup as well. I will get into that. But
that is the second half of the video. The setup is, it's something else. You'll see it soon.
First, reason number 2. As an epic minimalist, the bloat. The bloat is real. It always bothered me. Anytime I install a new Windows, I spent like an hour trying to uninstall all the pre-packaged BS that I
and it gets worse and worse every new version.
don't want. Windows is like, I know you paid $100 or whatever for me.
You paid for Windows? Well, that's a skill issue there.
But I'm still gonna put ads in here. Yes. Put a little AI in here. You want that, right? That doesn't benefit me. It's for you, the consumer. Bing. It doesn't benefit me that you use Bing, but please use Bing.
It's not my tool, but I should probably mention that Chris Titus does have WinUtil, which is all about making Windows tweaks, removing certain things that are bloat, things like that. He's done a few videos and blog posts about this as well. It's a really good tool, and if you're on Windows, you should go and use this. It's very, very good for dealing with a lot of these annoyances in Windows. At the same time, the annoyances are not going to stop because it's Windows, and they're going to keep adding more and more things because Microsoft. Yay. Anyway.
Microsoft is an annoying suite, apparently. With Linux, nothing. Serenity. Peace. Don't even get me started on the Windows task.
What even... I didn't realize it was this bad before I saw the video. Is this actually what the taskbar looks like now? How many ads... What is this? So we have, I don't know, 30 stories here or something. One here, 3 more here with a thing to tab through it. Another thing here. This is okay, but like, I don't want to see it in my task manager. Markets. Why? Remember the Windows 7 start menu? And it was just like nice and start menu-y. It was kind of like this. That was nice, wasn't it? now Windows is whatever this is.
Bar. You control what's on your computer. Duh, it's
crazy.
Obvious. How is this not a thing? Reason number 3. Custom.
Well, the reason why it's not a thing on Windows is Microsoft makes money from all these ads and bloatware. And there is this presumption that people are not going to pay for Windows. It's been like that for a while now. Like, they know people don't pay for Windows. They know people don't activate Windows, but they still want to make money from it. And the way they're going to do that is with ads, with bloatware that you might subscribe to, and obviously by stealing your data, because, yeah.
Customization. I discovered this afterwards.
Racing.
Customizing on Linux is a beautiful thing. On Windows, you can maybe change your wallpaper, change...
This is one of those things a lot of people actually don't know about Windows. On Windows, there are actually custom shells that do exist. A lot of them, you know, have died over time because there's just not really that much in the way of interest in this. Right now, according to this Wikipedia page, there are 2 that are active. But you actually can change out the shell. It's just not very well documented. No one talks about it, so most people don't know about it. And, yeah, it leads to the situation where most people don't even know you can do more than just basically this.
A little bit of colors, whoopity-doo. On Linux, you can change reality itself. Since Linux is built modular, you can swap out your GUI entirely. You don't even have to use one. You can cut off the head of Linux and it'll still be like, hey, I'm here. What's up? Customizing on Linux is called rising, and I got way too into it.
This is one of those phases which I feel like every Linux user should go through. If you just go on to like a GNOME or KDE as your first thing, and then you just use it how it is out of the box, which is kind of the state that I'm in now, but I did go through that phase, you lose out a lot of that just early fun, that early discovery, trying to find exactly what it is you do and don't like about various systems.
I cooked hard. I can't wait to show you guys. Now, reason number 4, gaming. Gaming on Linux is finally real. I actually installed Linux 15 years ago. That's right, I'm old. And I uninstalled it after like a couple days, as a lot of people do, when they realize, oh, I can't use the things I need on Linux. And for me, that was gaming back then, because it's like, well, then what's the point?
I've said this before, but I'm kind of in the same boat. I don't want to have to dual boot. I like that I can actually game on my Linux system. If I couldn't do that, it's very possible I never actually would have swapped over in the first place. Maybe I would have, because I was... The time that I swapped, I wasn't, like, super into gaming. But it's still nice to just be able to do everything on the one operating system you have.
But now, gaming the Linux is real at last.
Mostly.
So Valve came in like Gandalf in Helm's Deep, riding a Steam Deck with Proton. So I think this is a perfect example how Linux benefits everyone. The fact that Valve as a company recognized maybe Microsoft has a bit too much power. If they wanted to and started being shady, locking things down, taking cuts, they absolutely could. And it's not like it would be uncharacteristics for them to do. So
yeah, the general understood story for why Valve started caring about Linux is during that like Windows 8 period, there was the introduction of the Windows Store. And Valve and Gaben were very worried that it was going to become like the mobile app stores, where at the time, and still mostly now, they're very locked down and you have to go through that store. Obviously, that's bad for, Valve's revenue. And they wanted a way to circumvent Microsoft locking the gates, basically.
Valve started improving gaming on Linux, boosted driver support, and they built on what was already there from open source software like Wine. By doing this, Valve benefits, consumer benefits, ecosystem grows, win, win, win.
Yup.
It really feels like an alternate reality. This totally could not have been a thing. And it also makes me realize just how many things can be better if people just weren't so greedy. Can we just fix them?
Next video, why I became an open source philanthropist and spent all of my money trying to improve Linux. Make it happen. I want to see it.
So thank you, Linux, and thank you, Base Gaben. Now,
yeah, we love Gaben. Have you seen the recent pictures of Gaben? He looks... he's getting quite old. It's kind of like Linus Torvalds, where the pictures that people often share of them are like from 10 plus years ago. So seeing them now, you're like, oh, wait a second. They're old now. Well, they were old before, but they're older now.
I've gone through the reasons why I switched to Linux. Let me just explain why maybe not switching is a good idea. Because everything good comes with a sacrifice.
Yeah, speaking of the gaming thing, one thing he didn't touch on is gaming's not perfect. You still have the issue of anti-cheat heavy games where they just don't work, but most other things you're pretty much good for. You can also have issues with older video games with their cutscenes being in weird codecs, but usually for those ones, there's a pretty documented workaround. Anyway.
If you're swapping to Linux, you'll likely have to give something up. I don't know what that is, but for me, it was Photoshop. I used Photoshop, again, for 15 years. All the shortcuts, all my workflow, it's all baked into my brain. The way I use Photoshop, I don't think about it. It's just, here's the thumbnail.
Yeah.
It's not beautiful.
I think that's something a lot of people tend to forget when they talk about GIMP being a replacement. Yes, you can learn it, but there is a lot of value in comfort and familiarity. Even when you don't have to use that thing, knowing everything in and out, knowing exactly the hotkeys, knowing where everything is placed, especially when you're doing it for a job, is really nice. And I'm kind of in that state now with GIMP, but I really got into messing with stuff with GIMP. But if you come from a different background, it's not a one-to-one.
But I get the job done. Unfortunately, Adobe is a garbage company, and their software just won't run on Linux. A lot of artists...
There's some people that manage to make things kinda sorta work, especially for older versions. You can get them working. Creative Cloud is some versions work, some versions don't. It's very much not consistent.
Are jumping ship. They don't want to use Adobe anymore because they realize it's a terrible company.
Also
Me
money.
as well. I thought, you know what? It's time. I'll swap over. I know the open source alternative is GIMP. I've heard about this forever.
One thing I really like here, just very, very minor detail.
And I thought, it'll fill.
Where is
You know
it?
what?
Here?
It's time. I'll swap over. I know the open source alternative is GIMP.
He actually used the most recent version of the logo. Doesn't matter at all. Such a tiny little detail, but it's just nice that he put that extra effort into making sure that's correct.
I've heard about this forever, and I thought, it'll feel good. I'll feel good leaving Adobe. So I'm ready. I go to their website, I click through the 1,000 pages, I crawl through the bushes just to find the goddamn unsubscribe button, and I was so ready. I was gonna be like, you Adobe, just unsubscribe. You know what happens? They hit me with an unsubscription fee.
Yeah, so this is the thing with Adobe. The year contract is a year contract. If you break the year contract, they will make you pay out the rest of the contract, or a majority of the fee of the rest of the contract. So make sure if you are going to sub to Adobe, you cancel the day before your sub restarts, which is very annoying and another part of the reason they keep people locked in the ecosystem.
Yes. Those... I'm sorry, what? I have to pay to not use your software?
Or just keep paying them forever.
It was like $65 or something. It's insane. What the If anything, it just made me realize, okay, it's over. I'm never going back. So like I said, the open source alternative is GIMP. And since this is Linux, open source, you can do whatever you want. I downloaded this icon pack that changed the icons so they look like the Photoshop icons.
Nice.
That helped a little bit. Then I downloaded a shortcut command list that matches the one on Photoshop. Boom. Made it a little easier. I'm still not 100% used to it, but
I would highly recommend taking a look at a project called PhotoGimp. This rearranges the UI to make it look more Photoshoppy. A lot of people aren't a fan of the default GIMP UI. This isn't perfect. It doesn't make it become Photoshop, but it might make it feel somewhat more comfortable to work with.
The fact that I can do stuff like this really helps. For me, personally, a worthy sacrifice. I hope this doesn't sound like copium, but genuinely, it feels good that I was able to move on. At the end of the day, some tool...
Honestly, if more people can move from Adobe, that's great. I would like the Affinity Studio to be available on Linux, but, it is what it is. I know, yes, I should be promoting the FOSS things, but let's be honest, right? GIMP is great, and I use it, but it's hard to go from the power of Photoshop over to GIMP. Let's just be honest about it. Krita is a much better tool, yeah. And then you've, things like Blender compared to Maya and stuff, yeah. But let's be honest about the state of GIMP, right?
Tools are only gonna work on Windows and only gonna work on Mac, but what you gain on Linux is so much more. Freedom.
Yeah, freedom.
Join us. I'm just praying that Adobe is not just gonna show up one day and be like, there's another fee. I'll meet them in a dark alleyway. They'll be like, it's a little fee. Now that I've convinced you to swap to Linux, you have the wonderful choice of picking a distro.
You should pick this one. This is the correct choice. Just go with Arch Linux. I'm baiting comments because I know every time I do this, people will complain about it. It literally doesn't matter what you pick.
Yay, so many of them. I hear people going I don't know which one to pick. What do I do? There's so many. Just pick one. It's a wonderful thing that you can choose.
That is actually the most base Linux take I've heard. Just pick one. It doesn't matter. Yes, you can argue, I like CatchyOS because of this, I like that. Just pick something at the start. If you want to change later once you understand Linux, you can. But getting through the door, pick something.
Don't you understand? The world is your flavor. Look at all these prices. I went with Mint because it's the same one that I installed 15 years ago, and I knew that it was a beginner friendly.
Honestly, I feel like that's 95% of Mint's user base. Oh, I installed Mint 15 years ago when I was a child. I know about Mint, so I installed Mint again. It's been the beginner recommendation basically forever.
And that it still holds up. It very much feels like Windows, just better, okay? You don't even need to touch the scary terminal if you don't want to. You don't have to. It's okay. You should, though.
You should.
Let's jump into my computer really quick. Oh, look at that. I'm recording with OBS. Open source is always the best source. Couldn't get Bandicam. They didn't have a Bandicam. I can't believe I paid for that. There's like free versions everywhere. That's so much better. Okay.
Okay, let me just give you context on the Bandicam thing. For anyone who's not like a PewDiePie fan, this is like a long, very, very long running joke.
Alright, this is all teeth memes, but yeah.
Wait. You...
What?
Is that Bandicam?
Don't hate on Bandicam.
Oh my god, you still use Bandicam?
Yeah, Bandicam.
Oh my god.
It's perfectly fine.
Oh,
It works
bro, I
fine.
didn't know we're in 2010, bro. Oh
Fuck you.
my god.
Alright, we got more British memes, alright? How do you even see I got Bandicam?
Yeah, Bandicam used to be popular. It was popular in that time that like fraps and things like that were popular. Now he has no choice. Now you got to use OBS, especially on his other machine, which actually is using Wayland. There's not many other options besides OBS in that case.
Okay, so this is my desktop. I called it Apollo, and then I have my laptop, which I called Dionysus, because
I called mine Arch because I'm using Arch. I call my other system Arch because I was using Arch. I call my LFS system LFS because I was using LFS. I'm not very creative with the naming. I never have been.
wanted to mess around with it. Dionysus is the one I really went hard on the rising. But I just wanted to show some terminal commands really quick, just so you get an idea how it works. I talked about this in my last video, but the first thing that really blew my mind with Linux, I just noticed my computer was booting kind of slowly. So I found this command called systemd-analyze, and it tells you exactly how long it takes for your computer to actually load and what part takes a certain amount of time.
He went so far down the rabbit hole. Most Linux people don't know this exists. I had no idea this was a thing.
And it used to be like 45 seconds. I was like, dude, this is terrible. So then I found another command called blame, and then you can see exactly what part is kind of slowing down your system. Which got me into—
If you knew that existed, let me know down below. But I have a feeling... I have a feeling a lot of people are learning something new here. I might have to do a video on that myself.
to like really optimizing it, and I had so much fun doing that. And it just made me realize, just like on Windows, if my computer is kind of slow, you just kind of deal with it. It's like, oh, okay.
You cry,
Well, what
and maybe reinstall, and then pray the reinstall fixes something. It probably won't, though.
can you do? On Linux, it's like, the world is your oyster. You can fix it. Personally, I like that kind of stuff.
That's not that
The second
quote.
thing that blew my mind with the Linux terminal was just how fast it is at searching. Searching on Windows is so annoying. It takes forever. Sometimes it doesn't even find the file, even though you type the name of it perfectly. And a lot of times they just Bing it. They're like, oh.
I think the worst change that Windows ever made to their search is adding web search into it. Why? Like, if you want to have web search in the start menu, fair. But, like, make it a separate kind of search. Don't make it the main search and then have it just fail to find things on your system. How has it been broken for so long? I don't understand. macOS people, is Finder broken? Like, I actually haven't used macOS in, I don't know, 10 years. If it is, let me know, but I think this is just a Windows thing.
Oh, you want to search for your file? Oh, maybe no. Actually, you want to look it online. That's what you want to do. It's
sure.
like, no. Linux, you can find any file, whatever you want. This is searching all JPEGs on my computer. That's a bad example, actually.
Very bad example.
The other thing that I love about it is that you don't have to just search the file. You can also search text inside the file. So let's say you forgot what the file is called, but you remember roughly some stuff inside it. You can grep it, and bada bing, bada boom. What the hell is this? Spotify password text. Balls deep. I did not do that. What? Searching files on Linux is super fast. I mean, it made me realize just how it should be on.
He actually read the man page. I don't know if you noticed the command he used there. That was right here, bit bad.
some stuff inside it. You can grep it, and
Why is my pause taking too long? He's using grep-R.
inside it,
There, right here. Grep-R. Which I feel like a lot of people probably don't know themselves.
you can grep it, and bada bing, bada boom. What the hell is
GTK
this?
balls?
Spotify password text. Balls deep. I did not do that. What?
I don't believe you.
Searching files on Linux is super fast. It made me realize just how it should be on a computer again. The most obvious...
I wouldn't even say how it should be, how it was. And the main reason why searching was slow back in the day is slow drives and slow hardware in general. But now it's slow because you have awful search software which doesn't even work even when you try to search for things.
thing with the terminal is that, let's say you install the operating system and you need to also put all the programs that you want to use on it. Usually you have to go on the browser, Google it, look up their page, go to the download page, dodge all the fake ads and all that crap, and do that and install and run each one, wait for it to install, yada yada. It takes forever.
And then also go through the wizards as well, because Windows really loves wizards. Don't you love wizards? They're great.
On Linux, you just go sudo apt install. What do we want? We want VLC, Firefox, OBS Studio.
Notice the autocomplete there saved him. Otherwise, that would have broken.
Boom. Thank you. And now I can sit and look at the screen and feel like I'm a hacker. Yes, I know what all of this means. Every single letter I'm soaking in with my brain. There's so
Basically, if it doesn't say error, it doesn't matter what it says. If it doesn't say error, it's probably worked.
much you can do with the terminal. It's just insanely powerful. I can make a whole video about it, but I don't want to keep this too long-winded. And in reality, I just want to show you my rise on my laptop.
His video is 22 minutes. I have no idea how long mine's gonna be. It's probably gonna be a 40-minute video. People are gonna complain like, oh, why did you just watch this entire video? Why did you do that? Oh no!
To be honest, that's the whole reason I'm making this video. I had this old laptop. I mean, it's not that old, but I just never used it because I didn't really like using it. I mentioned before there's many distros of Linux, and I wanted to try one called Arch, partially because of the meme. It's kind of become a meme because it's a little difficult to install Arch.
Hi. I use Arch, by the way. That's definitely an overdone joke. Not at all.
So it's like a flex to use it. For some reason, I went on a god
Look, it really isn't a flex to use Arch.
run and I had no issue. I always get stuck on the dumbest ever for like 12 hours. I don't know what happened that time. But I also wanted to download Arch because it's a minimalist distro. Whatever you put, or at least 90% of it, is there because you decided to put it there. And it's also very highly
Yeah, and that's a problem for me because I have a lot of packages installed that I installed 4 years ago. I haven't done a clean install in a very long time. So as I test software, sometimes I just leave them installed. So I have a bunch of dependencies for things I just don't use and probably never will again.
customizable. We should two elements that I love, so I knew I was gonna love it. All right, let's go into my laptop. I think it makes sense for me to show it without any customization first because it just be confusing, and I need to talk to people that haven't used Linux. My first favorite thing, which I have on Mint as well, is just shortcuts on my keyboard to open programs, open terminal, open file manager, open browser.
I think that file manager is Dolphin. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's Dolphin with a weird theme.
Close it, whatever, it's all there. It's such a nice workflow and have a more keyboard-centric way of using your computer, especially on a laptop, but even in general.
That is so funny to hear from someone because oftentimes the Tyler cope is, I don't want to use it because on a laptop I have a small screen. That's the reason why it's good.
You know, the whole like, okay, let me
Also,
click on the start menu.
in case you didn't notice,
just find the thing.
Oi, stop. In case you didn't notice,
Open
very
file manager.
heavy gap use. It's a bit too much of a gap for me. I usually try to go for like 2 pixels. I think this is more like Considering the screen resolution as well, probably like a 6, maybe an 8. It's a bit much for me, but either way, gaps are based. We like gaps.
General, you know, the whole like, okay, let me click on the start centric way of using your computer, especially on a laptop, but even in general, you know, the whole like, okay, let me click on the start menu and just find the thing. If I don't have it keybind, I can open Rofi, and
Now, I am more of a D menu style enjoyer. At the same time, I do respect the use of Rofi. This is a great choice as well.
and just search for it and open it. I don't want to over-explain things as well, but yeah, this is my terminal on this setup using Alacrity, and this is
Another great choice. Another great choice right there.
NeoFetch, which shows my specs. And usually people have an ASCII art. It sounds like I'm saying ASCII. ASCII, I'll call it ASCII.
Don't do that.
Of their
Please
distro. And if you saw my Mint one earlier, I was like, oh, it wouldn't be cool if I do like my own custom ASCII. And then I thought, oh, wouldn't it be cool if I do my own animated ASCII? So I figured out how to do that. It took a little...
I have never looked into how to do this before. He has gone so deep down the ricing hole, like so much further than I or most other people are actually going to go.
Tinkering and schminker.
And by the way, this is just the surface. It gets so much more ridiculous from here.
But it's just so nice to look at. I love it. So I'm running Hyprland, which is...
I know the dev is very excited to see that Hyprland got a mention in a PewDiePie video. How that ever happened, I don't know. This is a weird timeline we're in, but I'll take it.
This beautiful tile manager, it automatically sorts it for me whenever I open something. This is such a nice workflow, and I can close it all as well. You can literally open these until infinite. When you're on a laptop, when you have limited screen space, it's such a great way to work with it. It's the fact
Again, the laptop tiler thing. I love that someone is actually saying it as it is.
that they're always there means I never have to look for them because I know they're there. And if my workspace is full, I can look at this. Swap to another one.
Wow.
This is workspace number 2 and workspace number 4. I've been
as the editor added here, Windows and Mac. You can't see it. Windows and Mac does this as well. I don't know what the hotkeys on Windows are. I feel like they're a lot less convenient. Usually what people do on Linux is like super and then the numbers, or super and then the arrow keys, and then it just works.
recording OBS from here. Let's say I'm working on a project on workspace 1. I can then work on another thing on workspace 2 and go back and forth vice versa instantly. I love this way of using a computer. It's so sick. The first thing I really loved about this Arch Hyprland setup was just how quick and smooth it looks, at least. You know,
He says quick and smooth, and NeoFetch takes a year to open.
boom, oh, open. It's so nice. But then I open my browser and it's like, oh,
I don't
you
know.
see that?
I don't know why Firefox would be doing that.
Ew! Again. Oh, that took forever. And it loads so ugly. So my first thought, okay, well, maybe I can upgrade my SSD to make it snappier and quicker. But then I thought, I'm on Linux. I can do whatever I want. So let's run a time here, Firefox. Let's ignore the CSS errors. I tinkered a bit too much. Don't worry about it. What was that? 2 seconds? Not good enough.
Nope.
So I figured out a way, and it's so dumb. I won't explain how I did it, but the fact that I was able to do it, boom, instant.
It is so nice to see someone this, like, excited about their early period of Linux. Because once you've been using Linux for a while, things are not just... they're not fresh and exciting anymore. But... seeing someone go through that same phase that I went through was like, I want to deal with every little thing on my system. It's so nice. Now, he doesn't say what he did, but I would presume it's something documented on this page here. I don't have issues opening my browser. It just opens immediately. But I guess if there are any problems you have, come to this page on the Arch Wiki and you'll probably get something useful.
Boom, 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 boom! I love it. I love it so much. It's these small things that makes you really fall in love with using Linux. Anyway, the first thing I customized was Waybar. Oh, I forgot to say I can move around as well.
Look at this bar. This is the most ricer bar you will ever see.
Well, if I want to. Anyway, and move them to a different workspace. So yeah, this is my taskbar. It's like the Windows taskbar, except you decide exactly what's on it and customizing it. I put calendar, turn it on and off, internet, Bluetooth, quick access to all these things, you know. I really enjoy this as well. It's basically just tells me if I'm connected to NordVPN or not, and I can toggle by clicking on it, and it tells me which country I'm connected to. Up here it shows which workspace I'm using. Since I have these reactor in the background, I thought it'd be cool to like LARP as if each workspace was each reactor. I'm on reactor A.
Remember what I said about peak ricer bar? You're just seeing the beginning of it now. Don't you worry about it.
There's reactor B, C, and D, where it's recording OBS. Then I have my battery bar, which is ASCII. I keep saying ASCII, which is ASCII art. I got the volume. And you know, look, if my volume goes too low, it gets red, it's critical. Just to really LARP the whole nuclear reactor UI. To me, it's cool. I like it.
It is cool.
All right, the second thing I did was making widgets with ew. Ew was a nightmare.
Yeah, that is this project right here. When GitHub's gonna load. Hello, GitHub? GitHub? There we go. This is Elkawa's wacky widget. If you ever hang around like racing spaces, tile spaces, this project is very likely going to be mentioned from time to time. It is a very powerful set of tools to make custom bars, make custom overlays, things like that. And I personally have never really gotten that into messing with it. I just never really got that into racing. I liked a very simple, lightweight setup without like nice visual effects, things like that. Maybe if I went back to it now, I'll change my mind. But if that's what you're looking for, this is a very, very useful project.
I'm not gonna lie. Here we go. Let me also change the wallpaper really quick. All right, so this is my...
What is... what is this thing?
My desktop. Let me play some music actually. So first I added this visualizer because I just saw a lot of people doing it. It's using Kava, but I changed it again with ASCII. So it looks a little more matrix. And here we have my uptime. Just how long it's been running.
More reactor LARPing right here.
How much until my battery is out? I should probably charge my laptop.
Yeah, 13.7 minutes. I'd be plugging that in immediately.
temp should probably change, cool it down a bit.
63 is fine.
All of this is it changes. It's not just like visual flair. Well, it is, but CPU.
Oh yeah, it is. But that's exactly why it's cool.
Load, which changes RAM usage, storage. This tells me which workspace I'm on. Right now, I'm on reactor B. Power consumption, completely useless, but I need it to look cool. And then we have my two fans for CPU and GPU, and then this little spinny fan thing to show it. Upload and download, latency, and then just another VPN thing. It's kind of pointless. And then basic weather. And then finally, to make it sort of all work together, I added a script that basically...
He's even gone and played with systemd services. Like, this is how far he's gone. Like, this is not a, like, hyper complex thing to work out, right? But just the fact that he's gone and done that, and listen to what it does.
Basically scans if I'm using a window. So if I open or close, it sort of transitions in and out of Waybar because I don't need it on both. That's just like too much information in my opinion. So this is on my desktop.
I personally like just having a simple bar when I use a tiler, but I can absolutely respect what's been done here. Having this here on your empty desktop and then going to your bar, like, it's too much for me, but I love this, and I love the fact that he really cares about what he's done here. Like, this isn't just a pre-packaged thing that he downloaded off of GitHub. He went out of his way to work out how to do all of this and customize it exactly to his liking. This is so cool.
It's just a nice vibe here. We just chill over here, and then when I'm in workflow, it blackens it all out. And I can just get going on my schwingy thingy. Oh, and in the middle here, my I forgot to say it has power profiles, my laptop, so I thought it'd be cool to change them. It's silenced, balanced, or power mode, but I changed it to Rasgon, which means overclock. You see my fans are spinning, and these are faster as well because the fans are spinning more.
Like, this is not the kind of stuff you do unless you get really into your system. It's all pointless, right? But, like, that's the point of racing. The point of racing is just to do something that looks cool, that has absolutely no practical purpose.
This is so sick to me because I'm remembering what this laptop used to be running Windows. I never wanted to use it. I hated it. Now it went from a hardware that I never used to my favorite piece of hardware because it not just looks great, it runs great. I love it. It's so sick. I had so much fun customizing this. It was just a blast. Yeah, I hope you guys appreciate it as well. I've been doing so much more. I built this camera as well.
So, a few months ago, he put out this video. This is the video where he drew every day for an entire year. Look, if there comes out a video where it's like, I wrote code every day for a year, I will not be surprised if that exists.
Like I mentioned earlier, you can communicate with Linux even without a graphical user interface, GUI. That made me so excited because I'm like, wait, that means I can use other computers at my disposal. For some reason, to me, that's just like really cool. And I wanted to try what I could do with it. I want to show this in another video maybe because I feel like it's too much yapping. But my point is, I've been having so much fun. Just tinkering, messing around.
We can tell.
Feeling like a hacker. But I gotta be real as well. Linux is not perfect. There's a lot.
Oh, I'm well aware. I have a whole series of Wayland videos on exactly not being perfect.
A lot of issues. A good example is, again, my laptop. When I first installed Arch, none of my F keys worked. Actually, sorry, 3 out of 12 worked out of the box. So I had spent a long time bringing them back to life. For me,
I'm not sure if it means the F keys didn't work or they were like media keys as well. So if he meant like the media aspect of it, like, oh, the play, pause button, things like that didn't work out of the box. That would make sense on Hyprland.
It was kind of fun. I was like, oh, got another one working. Like, okay, let's move on to the next one. But I can imagine for a lot of people that just want things to work, you know, maybe this is not for you. And maybe it should work, you know? I think since Linux is not as popular on desktop as Windows or Mac, this is just the reality. There's just not enough support for it. On Linux, if something doesn't work, it's kind of up to you to fix it. And yeah, that's just how it is.
Or that one guy who wants to spend 30 hours on something and then fix it for everyone because he happened to have a problem and he was like, hey, might as well just share it. I don't have any reason not to share it.
I was trying to update my drivers for my GPU and I got a black screen 6 times and I had to do a hard restore every time. It's, you know, not...
I thought his machines had AMD GPUs. Maybe one of them had an NVIDIA card. I don't know how that would happen on AMD. Unless you know, lost power during an install or something like that. I kind of wish you expanded more on that issue.
Not the most fun thing in the world. There are other things I could rather be doing, which is why I need you to install Linux so the more people we can get together, the better Linux becomes.
True.
And I get it now. Like, that's why people were so excited about me using Linux. Because Linux is not a product, it's a platform. And it also already exists everywhere. NASA, SpaceX, it runs on Linux. All the supercomputers, your TV,
why did you use that 02 GIF? Why did you do that?
your smart fridge, your phone, if it's Android, it's all Linux, baby.
Yep.
I think it's just so cool, the fact that this all happened because one Finnish guy in like the 90s just decided, hey, I can write a better kernel.
Well, okay, it wasn't exactly that. Initially, he was like, hey, this is just a hobby. I just want to learn how this works. Won't be big and professional like GNU. Now, shortly after, once he started arguing with professors, yeah, at that point he was like, yeah, I can do it better. You're a moron. I know what I'm doing. At the time, he was like 20 years old, arguing with I think a tenured professor about it.
Finnish naivety, typical Finnish behavior. They think they can do anything. But without that, you know, things would have been very different. At least there wouldn't be an alternative. And I just think it's so cool that people saw what it did, got excited, and wanted to join in. So please consider joining in. Now, if you're even just a little bit curious, I recommend trying Linux. Maybe try dual booting it if you're not sure. You can still keep your Windows or whatever. You're gonna kill it later. You might as well kill it now. Test it out. Break it. Get upset. On Linux, I feel alive at last. At long last. Thank you for watching. Let me just type out my goodbyes. No.
This was an absolute amazing video. And this is the kind of video we need to get people excited about Linux. And honestly, makes me want to make more videos of this vein. Makes me want to make more videos just like talking about really cool things you can do on Linux. If you're not already subbed to PewDiePie, he doesn't exactly need my shout out. He has 110 million subs. This video has 330,000 views already. But either way, go sub to PewDiePie. I wish him the best of luck in his journey through Linux. I don't know if he's going to stick with it. I don't know if he's going to go back to Windows. It sounds like he will stick with it. It doesn't seem like he has any reason to go back. So, yeah. That is awesome. Let me know your early Linux journey down below. Did you go through a racing phase? Did you try out Arch? Did you try out various different things, different tire lists, things like that? And yeah, where are you today? What are you doing today? Did you fall out of that phase? Are you still racing? I'd love to know. So, if you like the video, go like the video. Go like the PewDiePie video as well. If you really like the video and you want to become one of these amazing people over here, check out the Patreon subscribe to Liberapay, linked in the description down below. That's going to be it for me. And hey, we might as well just finish that PewDiePie outro.